All right, punters, the second golden slipper horse I'm going to highlight is the Chris Waller trained Fireball. I've got this one second top rate at 6.50, goes around 12.0, 3.60. I think it's one of the two major contenders, along with Stretton Ruler. Although I'm going to back 4 in the race, as I said in the first video when I did Stretton Ruler. Let's discuss Fireball. Very well bred, this one, by Snitzel, out of the Charge Forward mare, Advanced Party. That is a slipper pedigree all day, every day of the week. Gets blinkers first time, very important. Chris Waller trains, James McDonald's hands. Perfect combination. We can put a line through the Skyline run behind Campione d'Italia. The only thing we need to look at is his trial second to Closer to Free, when it had those blinkers on first time. That's the first thing I'm going to show you, because it's very important. Okay, so this is Closer to Free on the front end. This is Fireball stalking in third, okay? Watch what Fireball does here. It's better than Closer to Free through the line, and they put a massive margin back on the rest. So you've got Closer to Free on the front, Fireball in third here, in the green, on the rail. They draw away, and I think this one's going to get the perfect trip. Absolute perfect trip drawn in the 7 alleys. So this is Fireball now, starting to come off Closer to Free's back in the green. Just held together. Starts to make a little bit of ground and Closer to Free. Look at the margin to the rest, punters. So 1,200 metres. I'm pretty sure it's got the measure of Closer to Free. Now, let's go and have a look at the pedigree of this one. Important. By Snitzel, out of the Charge Forward mare, Advanced Party. Charge Forward, as a broodmare sire, shows up in plenty of really strong slipper pedigrees over the last 10 years. Second dam, the Redout's Choice mare, Luan. Another important reference. So that's a double nick of Redout's Choice. And the third dam, Countess Christie. This is where it becomes important. Countess Christie, the Masqué mare, she won the Magic Night, the Sweet Embrace, and the Widden. Group 2, Group 3 listed, 1,000, 1,200, 1,200. This is a 2-year-old sprinting pedigree. Now, when we go deeper back into the form of this second, Graphology that ran third, beaten 7.13. Prior to that, only 3.3 lengths off Moonlit Wings. But 4th of 10 after that, beaten 4.9 behind Roshini. Now, Roshini gives us a line, the Zeus Star filly, back to Cheyenne. Was only beaten 4.2 by Cheyenne in the Riesling, okay? So when you take that into account back through Fireball was scoped for more. It's got the measure of Cheyenne all day, every day of the week. Good margins further back, 7.1, 7.5, 7.6. Fourth home. Prior to that, far behind Campione d'Italia. But before that, third to Barracks. Now, this Barracks form line, when it was beaten 1, is another important form reference. Barracks goes back to Potomac River and Handbloom. Handbloom, which I've got a huge opinion of, gives us a line back to Sheiky, Masvingo. But the other important reference here is through Potomac River, which beat at 1.7. Once again, confirms the line back to Cheyenne, beaten 4.1. Now, fifth home, beaten 7.5 prior, beaten 3.65 by Moonlit Wings. Excellent reference. That gives us lines back to Coco Affair, Campione d'Italia. Sixth home, beaten 7.6. Gives us a line back to Regal Prophet. The Regal Prophet form stands up, left, right and centre. Got an opinion of that 2-year-old filly back through Hellish Charm. 2-year-old colt, back through Hellish Charm. And the next reference, Piaffe, the Snitzel filly, beaten 8.3. The trial prior, only 2.3 off Peyton. Peyton is an excellent form reference as well. Back to the next episode. The next episode, highly impressive, very smart. So everything there says to me, this Waller train runner with blinkers first time, that is a key move for a Waller runner into a slipper. by Snitzel out of the charge forward mare. James Harron owned. This is a Stallion's pedigree, Blinker's first time. They're here to win the race. And I think it hits new peak on the back of that jump out second, that trial second, and close to the free. So that's the second major elect that I want to be backing in the slipper, along with Stretton Ruler. I'm still going to do videos on the other two seen contenders, being Zambales and Campione d'Italia. But as I said to you, this race is as wide open as the Sydney Heads. And I think these four horses, Stretton Ruler 17.0 4.2, Fireball 12.0 3.6, Zambales 16.0 4.2, and Campione d'Italia 16.0 4.2 are going to fight the slipper out. And you can afford to back all four of them for a result across the race.